The events in this program are inspired by a true story. Names, dates, and events have been changed. Viewer discretion is advised. Coming up on Bizarre Murders, a young woman with great potential, connected to three men with hidden agendas, and a whodunit high-tech investigation reveals how a half-baked fresh start can lead to getting burnt. Cecilia is a 21-year-old high school dropout. She's had some bad luck in the past, but she's planning a new beginning and has all the right stuff to succeed.
Right?
Yeah.
Judd has been Cecilia's close friend since high school. He knows what she's been through, and through it all, he's been there for her. This new apartment is the fresh start Cecilia needs.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Mateo. Nice to meet you. I'm your new neighbor.
Cecilia.
Cecilia, nice to meet you.
That's Judd.
Nice to meet you, Judd. You guys need a hand?
Yes, do you mind?
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Mateo's warm welcome is icing on the cake.
This one. Judd?
Judd, for real?
But then Dylan, Cecilia's ex-boyfriend, makes a surprise appearance.
Get out of here. You get out of here. What the hell's your problem?
He's the reason she needs a fresh start.
You punk. That's what you get. Yo,
What are you doing here?
a long time.
What are you doing here?
What am I?
Cecilia was 16 when she met Dylan, your typical bad boy.
You're supposed to be with me. What the hell are you doing?
Cecilia, is this guy bothering you?
No, he's
You're
not.
bothering me, bro.
Soon, she was hanging out with the wrong crowd, skipping classes, and eventually she dropped out of school.
This is the punk you with now? Is that what's up?
They moved in together, but it was more of a nightmare than a fairy tale.
You need to get out of here.
Who is that anyways?
None of your business.
It's been 5 years since Cecilia made that mistake, and try as she may, it seems to be following her.
At the FBI, we take it very seriously that 1 in 4 women in the United States have been the victim of severe physical violence. Even worse, 1 in 3 women who is a victim of homicide was murdered by her current or former partner.
Dylan, you gotta go.
Let's just have a talk about it.
I'm gonna call the cops,
Call
okay?
the cops for, girl.
I'm going to call the police. So go! Go! Oh, I'm sorry.
You all right, man?
You okay?
Who was that guy?
Nobody. Honestly.
This is what we call a cycle of abuse. More often than not, women in her situation won't call the police. And usually, that ends badly.
All right, you guys can put that wherever you want.
Despite the fiasco on her first day in her new apartment, Cecilia is still determined to put it all behind her.
Wait, I just want to say thank you.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks
Nice to meet
again.
you. Yeah.
You're wonderful.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
And she has willing help close by from her very friendly new neighbor, Mateo. Which doesn't thrill Judd. In the days that follow, Cecilia settles into her new digs.
Hello? I'm good. How are you?
A fresh start, new neighbors. Things are looking up for Cecilia. Independence suits her well.
I need an ambulance. My friend's been attacked. Hurry!
The worst case scenario is finding a friend or family member has been murdered. I don't wish it on anybody. But if it happens, the most important thing to do is to call 911 and please don't disturb the crime scene.
There's only one way in and one way out of this bathroom, and it's a bottleneck for evidence. Using specialized tools, investigators scour the crime scene, uncovering evidence that is present but invisible to the naked eye.
The best thing you can find at a crime scene is the proverbial smoking gun, but a piece of evidence left behind by the killer that ties them directly to the crime. It's fingerprints, DNA, blood. Those are all crucial.
Jackpot. Detectives note that these prints are barefoot and that the smears appear to be from a cleaning attempt.
Fingerprints have all sorts of unique loops, swirls, and ridges, and they can be used to identify crooks. You know, your feet have the exact same thing. Either way, cops love prints. Detectives find extensive blood spray on both the walls around the tub and on the floor. This tells me she was alive at the time her throat was cut, because the spray is caused by the high pressure of her blood, which isn't there if you're not alive. The body was found partially clothed and placed in the tub. This tells me that there was probably an assault, and likely the killer wanted to humiliate the victim. Every bit of evidence tells a story, and these are adding up. Blood in the hallway, on the counter, in the bathroom, a sloppy murder scene, which means it wasn't planned, and of course, the random hot dog buns. This is all trending towards a crime of passion. What it tells me is that we're looking for a killer that knew Cecilia. Right away, with that information, the playing field of suspects is really gonna narrow.
2 weeks after breaking away from her abusive boyfriend and moving into her own apartment, Cecilia is found murdered in her bathtub. Police know that Cecilia struggled with her attacker. She likely yelled. So they turned to people who live close by.
Were you aware that your neighbor Cecilia was murdered on the 15th?
Oh my God, no.
Oh my God.
You do know Cecilia?
I met her one time when she moved in, the day she moved in.
But when asked if the couple had heard anything like screaming or signs of a struggle,
We were all sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a dead end.
Anybody else that might know her?
Actually, there was
Her
boyfriend.
ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, her ex-boyfriend Dylan. I think that's what his name. There was the day she moved in. He actually showed up and started arguing with her, and actually punched one of her friends in the stomach.
After hearing about Dylan's altercation with Judd, the detective leaves with both Judd and Dylan on his list of suspects.
That what you wanted? That what you wanted, bro?
Forensic evidence of blood sets the date of the murder as November 13th, sometime between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. And Cecilia's good friend Judd, who called 911, is one of the suspects.
Friend's been attacked. Hurry!
Mateo is also a person of interest because he had access to the victim. But with his history of violence against Cecilia, Dylan is the prime suspect.
How well did you know Cecilia?
That was my girl, man. We were together for like 4 or 5 years.
Dylan fits the profile and is certainly guilty of a lot.
Where were you on the night of the 15th between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m.?
I was out with friends. These 2 girls I know from college. Man, you need to stop wasting my time and find the dude who did this.
While police attempt to corroborate Dylan's story, they bring Mateo in for further questioning.
What happened during that altercation on the day she moved in?
This guy's like really violent, aggressive. He's yelling, he's screaming, and he ends up punching Judd in the stomach and runs off.
If you don't mind, we'd like to take your fingerprints.
My fingerprints? Why? I barely knew her. I was in the house once.
With no clear killer emerging, the police also want to hear more details from Judd.
Tell me about the day that you went by Cecilia's house. Made the phone call.
I got really worried that she wasn't answering my call. Cease, it's Judd. It's like the 20th message I've left you. Where are you? Give me a call back.
Cease, open up! Cease, it's Judd! Cease?
Why would you break in?
I looked in the window and I saw a mess.
Cease?
I felt in my stomach that she was in trouble and I had no choice. I had to break in.
You hear? Cecilia!
And once I was inside, I walked to the washroom. There she was.
Was she alive when you found her?
No.
You'd find it shocking how often guilty people are trying to defer suspicion by appearing to help police. Yeah, okay, whatever. We got your number. We've seen this before.
Do you know of anybody that would want to harm her?
Dylan. Her ex-boyfriend, Dylan. For sure, he's crazy, that guy. For sure.
There are 3 suspects and a dump truck full of evidence. But between the random buns and the guys in her life, how do investigators make heads or tails of any of this? These 3 guys all had contact with the victim within 4 days of her death. 2 of them had personal relationships with her, while the 3rd lived right beside her. This is a whodunit, and in cases like this, we use the process of elimination. We're not adding suspects, we're eliminating them. Just line up the ducks and eliminate them using facts until there's only one left.
Investigators discover Dylan's alibi is airtight. He was out drinking with 2 college co-eds. He's off the hook. So now they turn to Judd. Investigators have a problem with Judd's story. How does a 165-pound man slip through a tiny window and not disturb anything on the kitchen counter? So they take him back to the scene of the crime in order to corroborate his claims. Judd demonstrates what he did the morning he found the body, and the counter remains untouched. For now, he's no longer a suspect. To complicate matters, police don't find a match to either Dylan or Judd's prints anywhere in the house. Detectives are at a loss with their 2 prime suspects eliminated and time ticking.
If you don't nail down a case in the first 48 hours, the chances of it ever being solved get pretty slim.
But then they catch a break. Forensics find a match to the bloody footprint found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to Mateo.
Now they've placed Mateo at the crime scene. They've caught him in a lie.
I was in the house once.
He has graduated to prime suspect. It's not a lock, but it is definitely time to have a 3rd conversation with the friendly neighbor next door.
Mateo was brought in for another round of questioning.
We found your footprint in the hallway.
Police confront him with the matching footprint evidence. Obviously shaken, he gives detectives a complete flip-flop of his original story.
Okay, look, man. I was with Cecilia the night before she died.
Mateo claims that he and Cecilia have been having a bombshell affair for the past couple of weeks that started right after she moved in.
That night, we had a couple drinks, we made out a little bit, and then I left. I swear I didn't kill her. The next morning, I snuck over to her place to surprise her.
Cecilia. Hey, Cecilia.
He had visited for another morning tryst when he found her dead in the tub.
I panicked. There was blood everywhere. So I ran home, scared, Well, I realized I left bloody footprints in the hallway. So I ran back and cleaned them up. I was just scared, but I didn't kill her.
He claims that's how his prints got in the hallway.
So why didn't you report the body?
It's my wife, man. I didn't want my wife to find out about the affair.
One more shoe drops in Mateo's perimeter.
What can you tell me about this?
This is a long time ago, man. I'm a different person.
They found that he has a domestic abuse conviction against him, but it was in another state, which is how it was missed on the routine check.
And this is part of the reason why I didn't call, because I knew I would be a suspect.
Game changer. This is a big deal because if you've got one conviction for violence against a spouse, you've probably done it a lot before it got bad enough to have your wife turn you in. This guy has a proven violent temper, and he's not afraid to take that out on women.
I swear I didn't kill her.
Police think they're looking at their guy, but they don't have enough conclusive evidence to lay a charge that will stick. They're forced to let him go, but under the order that he's not to leave town.
Instinct is telling me this is the guy. Here's the hitch, and it's a big one. Just because they have his footprint doesn't mean they have him for committing murder. He hardly knew her. Why would he kill her? This guy could skate on reasonable doubt. This one footprint only places him at the scene of the crime. They need to place him in that bathroom at the time of the crime.
The detective combs over the evidence again, but this time with nothing but Mateo as their prime suspect. While reassessing crime scene photos, he notices something odd about one of the hot dog buns. It looks like half of the bun has been squashed down, unlike the other buns. The bun is rock-hard stale, and when detectives dust the squashed half of bun number 3, a very clear partial footprint reveals itself.
This is where the investigation goes from pretty weird to totally bizarre. The bun is now rock hard. You know how they get after a few days. In order to have made a clear footprint, the perpetrator would have had to have stepped on the bun when it was perfectly fresh and soft. That means the owner of the footprint on the bun was in the bathroom when the buns got dumped out from their bag during the crime. That person stepped on bun number 3, leaving behind their footprint. Signed, sealed, delivered. Scene of the crime, time of the crime. All that has to be done now is find whomever belongs to that footprint, and they are baked.
The detective uses 3D scan overlay technology on Mateo's footprint and the bun print to establish if they are in fact identical.
These guys have a slam dunk with this evidence. Really, this is all over except for the whining.
Mateo, we have your footprint that places you in the bathroom at the time of her death. We have a search warrant to search the rest of your house.
All I did was knock on her door. Baby, I'm sorry.
Police put together the evidence and determined that on the evening of November 13th, Mateo went to Cecilia's house after his wife Carolyn had gone to bed.
Hey, girl.
We need to talk.
Talk about what?
This needs to stop.
He made a pass at her, but Cecilia wanted nothing to do with him.
You have a wife, you have kids, you need to leave me alone.
Here's a guy who just couldn't handle being rejected. Big man. And in his mind, she disrespected him. This enraged Mateo so much that he attacked her. To most of us, that's senseless, but in his mind, it makes perfect sense. He's the man, he's in charge, right? No, wrong.
Oh, no.
Mateo dragged Cecilia to the bathroom, where he slit her throat with scissors. Then, he placed her in the bathtub and ran the water, washing away any DNA evidence.
and the hot dog buns. This is a weird one, but follow me on it. Killer needed to get rid of the bloody scissors. So he leaves them in the bathroom, he goes to the kitchen and grabs the first plastic bag he saw so he doesn't leave a trail of blood. This bag held hot dog buns. He brought him back to the bathroom, bagged his evidence so he could get it out of the house. And that's how the blood got on the counter, and that's how the buns got onto the floor.
Mateo, you were under arrest for the murder of Cecilia, your neighbor.
All I did was knock on her door.
Mateo is charged with first-degree murder of Cecilia and sentenced to life without parole.
This kind of murder always makes me wonder who is a killer and who isn't. I mean, on the surface, with a 9-year relationship and 2 kids, you'd assume this guy would have developed better impulse control. But no, never assume anything. We're fortunate that this time, that this guy left behind the smoking bun.